Hi. Many people do not yet have awareness or clarity about the super top-up health insurance plan. With the rising medical costs every year, it is a must-have need today. In fact, many people do not even really care about the basic health insurance coverage until something unfortunate happens to them or someone in their family. So let me share some important information about the super top-up health insurance policy. But most important, please pause and go through our disclaimers here. We are not responsible for the outcome of your actions. Let's start with some statistics. At 14%, India has the highest medical inflation rate in Asia. The general inflation rate may be 6-7%, but medical inflation is double of that. Most of us don't realize it. Most people have health insurance of 5, 10, 15 lakh, but is that adequate? Will that be adequate in future also? Treatment costing 5 lakh today may cost around 9.5 lakh after 5 years and around 18.5 lakh after 10 years at this inflation rate of 14%. With your rising age, if you have hospitalization for more than one person in the family and multiple times a year, will your basic health insurance cover be enough in future also? Think. Let's look at some more data. Due to rising costs, health cover becomes almost inadequate every 5 years. 50% of healthcare expense in India are paid out of pocket, while the global average is just 20%. 25%, one fourth of the urban Indian have taken loans to cover medical expenses as they did not have adequate health insurance cover. So what's the solution to cover this risk? A super top up health insurance policy. It is a very low cost policy with much multiple times higher sum assured which can be claimed after a certain threshold of deductible amount. So suppose if you have a super top up plan of 25 lakh with a deductible limit of 10 lakh, you will have to pay this 10 lakh first either from your own pocket or through a base health insurance cover you may have before the super top up kicks in. Super top up is actually a separate policy altogether and not linked to the base policy. You will need to undergo an underwriting process and a waiting period for existing disease may also be applicable. You can buy super top up without a base policy too. But as I said, this amount can be claimed only after the deductible amount is paid. So if there is no base policy, you have to pay the deductible amount from your own pocket. If you're comfortable with this, then just buy the super top up policy. If you have a health insurance from your employer, that can also be used as a base policy. But in that case, do consider what happens when you leave the job. Does this base policy gets converted to your individual policy or not? If not, buying a new health insurance policy at older age will be tough and very expensive. The biggest advantage of super top up policy is low premium cost. Look at this illustration. How a small premium for super top up policy can increase your health insurance cover by 6x. For a little more premium, you can even choose super top up of up to rupees 1 crore if you want. So a base plan with a premium of 8,000 odd can have a super top up of 25 lakh for just 1600 odd. So my tip will be instead of a higher base plan of 30 lakh, buy a lower base plan of 5 lakh or so with a super top up policy of 25 lakh as per your need and comfort. Make sure you're not confusing this super top up policy with the top up policy. Both are different. A top up policy pays only if your claim amount exceeds the deductible amount in a single hospitalization. While for a super top up, multiple hospitalization bills in a policy year can be added together to calculate this deductible limit. Let's understand this using an example where the deductible limit is 5 lakh and there have been two hospitalization within a policy year, one for 4 lakh and one costing 7 lakh. At the first hospitalization, as the first hospitalization cost is lower than the deductible limit of 5 lakh, none of the two policies are applicable. Clear? During the second hospitalization, the cost exceeds 5 lakh. So both the policies are applicable. But in case of top-up plan, you cannot combine multiple hospitalization. So you will only be paid rupees 2 lakhs by the insurance company. But in case of super top-up policy, all the hospitalization in a year can be combined. So you will be paid rupees 6 lakhs by the insurance company. Now you decide which is a better one. In my observation, most of the treatment these days require more than one hospitalization. So you should go for super top up policy. Now another question is to buy the super top up policy from the same insurer as your base policy or not. Though technically you can buy the super top up from any insurer because it is a separate policy altogether and not linked to the base policy, I personally advise people to buy from the same insurer to avoid inconvenience during medical crisis when you are already tensed about the health. You or your family will not need to deal with two different insurance companies. It will involve less paperwork and quicker processing of bill payment. Hospitals also usually consider only the base plan for cashless reimbursement. So if the super top up is from the same company, they will consider it as a single claim and the entire bill can go through cashless mode. But if they are from different insurer, hospital will provide cashless facility to the extent of the base cover. And if this gets exhausted, you have to pay from your own pocket and then claim reimbursement from the super top up policy insurer later on. Finally, ensure to pick the base and super top up plans from a company that has similar features for both, because you may end up with a super top up that does not cover all the services, forcing you to pay from your pocket. So be careful. Understanding these terms and conditions is a key to making a successful claim. So be careful and research properly before buying any insurance. For any further query, you can book time with us at happinessmitra.com or WhatsApp number or email ID mentioned here. Please do not forget to share this video with your other friends, relatives, and connections. Thank you so much for your time and attention.